Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Blind View here on Becca's World. And here is your host, Miss Rebecca Meadows.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us here today for another exciting episode of The Blind View on Becca's World, streaming live on Rumble and going on several other platforms as well. YouTube, Twitter, X, just a whole bunch of different. Oh my gosh, my dogs are blowing up. Hold on, I'm gonna get out my dog out of the bedroom. God damn it! Oh! Jeez, not tangled up in my cord. Okay, Chef, I'll let you out.
Oh, I hear somebody's jaws. Maybe it's Brandon coming?
Oh, Chef, go ahead, go on out.
Huh? Who is muted? He is? Brandon, you're muted.
Oh shit, where are my headphones at? And where's the cord? Just a minute, guys. I've got the cord tangled up here. Oh, I hope I didn't break it. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Oh wait, my headphones must have got unplugged. Okay, can you guys hear me?
I can still hear you.
Okay, good. Because I didn't hear you through my headphones. I just wanted to make sure I could hear you through my headphones now. Thank you, Anya.
Yes,
okay.
Yes, of course.
Okay, so I'm sorry for the interruption. Did Brandon join us yet
then? He was muted earlier, but
okay.
I thought I heard jaws in the background, but I don't hear anymore.
Okay,
maybe Gino will be helping him figure it out how to get in.
Yeah. So Anya, is there anything you want to talk about?
Yeah, I just so I want to talk about a couple of things. I mean, depends how it gets picked up, if how much people have to add. So all these executive orders that are coming in, like an avalanche. People on the left are super shocked, and it's a good thing. But I wanted to talk specifically about the ending DEI requirement, DEI hiring, and the fact that the disability community is going berserk over this, and I don't think it's right. There's a lot of
So Anya,
uh-huh.
I've been dating a liberal for a month now, and so I have not been watching the news because every time I turn Newsmax on, he blows his top. So can you fill me in on all the executive orders President Trump's been signing? Because I have no idea.
Well, there's a lot of them. So for one thing, he ends all the DEI hiring, training, the training programs, all those programs for in federal government.
So there'll be no more federal funding for that stuff?
Well, I mean, he just wants them to stop these discriminatory practices, when they hire people based.
I agree that's all wrong, but the way President Trump is going about stopping, is he going to stop federal funding for these places then? Is that what he's saying?
That's a different thing. I think he's just looking for transparency there because there's a lot of shady stuff going on in all those agencies. So I don't know much about this. Maybe when Brendan shows up, he can fill us in better. But I know that he's trying to have some centralized place where the government can see how the money is being spent, the federal money, and that's why they put it on freeze until it's all put together. But of course, there's a lot of panic. There's a lot of activists that are jumping on it and intentionally spreading misinformation, trying to piss off as many people as possible. Not just piss off, but also just scare people to oblivion. I mean, they're panicky. They fight with each other, putting a bunch of stuff on Facebook and on other social media. So in other words, they intentionally creating chaos. So.
And what executive order did President Trump sign that the that the blind or disabled community is going nuts about. I don't know anything about that, and
Well, they think that the way I see it, they think that DEI is helpful to blind people because supposedly it's
who is they? First of all, who's they? Are you talking about the NFB thinks it's helpful to blind people? Or are you
well,
saying the
probably
government thinks
does.
it's helpful to blind people?
I mean, NFB has not stated their official position, but
Oh.
I assume that's what they would be. But I don't want to put
Are
words in
you
their mouth.
well? Are you assuming? It's like, so you're assuming that because they've been anti-Trump on everything else, they'd be anti-him on this?
Well, I can see from Facebook. I mean, from individuals who are posting who are NFB members, so I kind of get a feel. But like I said, they don't. They have not, to my knowledge, they have not put
What
anything out formally.
So I haven't even been on Facebook. Honestly, I think I might have finally managed to delete my Facebook account, which I've been trying to get rid of for quite some time. So can you tell me what people are saying on Facebook about it? Is the blind community, are they angry that President Trump wants to do away with DE or DI? What's it? DIE? Or
DEI,
well,
diversity, equity.
yeah, I prefer DIE. Die.
Uh,
I think it's more appropriate, but I just I know that there's some what am I trying to think of, like some groups that are pushing who don't like what President Trump is doing, but I know that as a member of the National Federation of the Blind, like in the federation and going through to the blind immersion schools that the NFB has created, like there they teach us not to go reach for handouts from the government, right? They teach us to be self-supporting, functioning blind people who can do amazing things on the computer, just like our sighted peers can, so we can get real jobs and stuff,
yeah.
And so I wonder how, I just don't know how the NFB feels about DEI overall, because I just haven't heard them talk about it. But I do think
they do talk about it.
Trump.
If you go to their website, you're gonna see they have a statement. At least
Yeah.
it was there back then. But again, I'm not gonna dog their position. I mean, there are a lot of liberal people out there who are part of the NFB. I just think that it's also not true. What is being spread right now? They're saying that DEI supposedly getting rid of DI would automatically get rid of accessibility at a workplace. Like, I just don't see that connection.
No.
Nowhere does it say that. And people are freaking out, and it's just, sometimes I just read those posts and just smile because, like, oh my God, people.
If we get rid of DEI, my understanding is that all it's going to do is it's going to go back to
merit-based hiring.
Yeah, to standards that we used to have, where it was merit-based hiring, so that we'll have better quality of everything in America.
I know.
And it's not that people won't be able to get jobs, but people will be forced to work harder to get better training and get better education to get jobs. You know what I mean? But that's what we need here in America. Well, the resources are there for people to get training and education here in America. The problem is people are too freaking lazy anymore to go do it. You know what I mean? And so we kind of need to force them, And this DEI is a bunch of bullshit. And this
it definitely is.
Yeah.
I mean, people get jobs because of their skin color, because of their gender. Yeah. I mean, and how do we know about their gender? Like this mayor of LA, they say, oh, lesbian mayor. Like, why the hell do we even care whether she's lesbian or not?
Right.
Like, why is it something that needs to be mentioned? Because they're virtue signaling. They're showing, oh, we have somebody, look at our government, it's well diverse and shit. Like, and it's basically hiring a bunch of grossly incompetent, unqualified people. Yeah, because merit goes on the back burner, and they just put forward all those characteristics that supposedly matter. Yeah, but they frame this misinformation so well that people truly think that disability, folks with disabilities are, in a bad situation right now. It's scary times and blah blah blah. So, I mean, I know we're smarter than that, and I just read this as like,
So,
people.
so Anya, like I said, I haven't had much of a chance. I mean, I've been addicted to the news since September 11th, 2001, and I normally watch the news. Like I have my news playing in the background all day long, every day, right? So I'm constantly listening to the news, and I haven't been able to do this for the last month, but I've been doing it since 2001, right? And it's
Uh-huh.
really driving me crazy. So I want to ask you about what's been going on in the world. Like, what's going on with Russia and Ukraine? Then has anything changed there?
No, not really. I mean, that's something interesting because in this US media, you don't hear much. I mean,
Uh-huh.
Trump said, Trump likes to exaggerate sometimes, and
Right.
people take him too literally sometimes and then go after him for that. But he
Yeah.
said, I'm going to end this war in 24 hours. Okay, oh, obviously, I did not expect him to end the war literally in 24 hours. But of course, the left would jump on and say, hey, he didn't end the war. He didn't end the war
Yeah.
because they take him literally. And no, like, I don't hear much talk about this war at all. Like, there's other stuff that's going on, deporting illegal aliens and doing other stuff, firing people who are not supposed to be in certain positions, doing all kinds of things. But they're not talking about that war. At least, I mean, I don't read all the
Yeah.
press that is out
Are
there.
they talking about the Israeli Hamas war then? What's going on with that war?
I don't really know. I mean, I don't follow very closely that war to begin with. If I were
Uh-huh.
to follow international politics, it would be like Russia-Ukraine war more. But
Uh-huh.
yeah, well, Becca, I'm surprised you're not watching, the
Oh,
news.
I know. No, like I said, ever since September 2001, I've been addicted to the news. It's just like I met this great guy a month ago. In fact, today is our 1 month anniversary,
Oh, congratulations!
but the thing is, he's a liberal and I'm a conservative, and so like every time we start discussing politics, we start to argue and things get heated right away. So then we have to remind each other that we're not going to discuss politics. And so if I have my Newsmax playing in my house all the time, it's gonna cause us to discuss politics because Newsmax, like I love Newsmax because they always cover President Trump, and they cover the issues I really care about in our country, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and but but like I said, right now while I'm building my relationship with Patrick, I just don't want us to be fighting all the time because of the news I'm watching and forcing him to watch. So
Yeah, I understand. I'll just tell you, for me personally, I would never be able to to date somebody who's my opposite views. Like, we'll be
yeah.
arguing constantly.
So listen. So I need to get myself a pair of Bluetooth earbuds, probably. I mean, that's what I was going for when I got these, right? Was
Yeah.
I was just gonna get a pair of Bluetooth headphone or Bluetooth earbuds because the ones I got last were really cheesy. They just don't work.
Uh huh.
And um, but shit, where was I going with that?
Well,
Oh,
about
oh,
news that you could not
oh
listen
yeah,
to.
yeah. Because I was gonna start listening to because I always watch my Newsmax either on my iPad or my iPhone, right? So I
Yeah.
was gonna just connect my Bluetooth earbuds to those so I could still watch the news and not get in heated arguments with Patrick. Because if he's not listening to it, then he's not gonna be sitting there saying, "That's a bunch," you know what I mean? The liberal slant on everything, right? Because because and and so and plus like it's not fair to get him all upset, right?
Well,
So
I have to say, if I don't know anything about Patrick, and I don't want to say anything bad about him or good, because I don't know anything about him. But I want to say, if you're talking to a reasonable liberal person, you can still find some common grounds. I mean, you can't just say, okay, if it's Newsmax, it's like, it's foreign territory, like I'm not touching with a 10-foot pole. Or if it's CNN, like I'm not going to
oh,
touch that. No, that's being
oh,
completely closed-minded and not even being aware of what's going on. Like,
it's not so much that it's Newsmax, it's that it's Trump. Like my boyfriend,
Trump derangement syndrome.
yeah, my boyfriend, when I met him, he had a severe case of Trump derangement syndrome, but
Hmm.
he's recovering from it, right? And um, but listen, I feel like Valentine's Day is coming up in a couple of weeks, and I have to tell you, Anya, I feel like Cupid struck me the last few weeks, right? Like,
Sure.
I think I'm in love with this guy. He is so amazing.
Well, if you want to talk about Valentine's Day and romance, well, tell us. I don't know how much you want to say on the air, but if you want to share, you can tell us how you met if how you
Well,
met
believe
Patrick.
it or not, we met on online dating. Um, and um, honestly, to be perfectly honest with our viewers, I never put, and I've said this on other shows where I've discussed dating and stuff. I never put on my when I'm on set up a plenty of fish profile or Facebook dating profile or a dating profile on any network. I never put on the profile, oh, by the way, I'm blind, right? Because I don't want them to look at my blindness as a, oh, by the way, I'm blind, or you need to know something really major, I'm blind. Like, I want them to look at my blindness as what it is, an afterthought, right? It's a characteristic about me. It's not who I am, and so therefore I don't put it on my feet on any of my profiles because it's not like it's not a characteristic of about me. It's, you know what I mean.
Right.
It,
So you didn't
it,
put on your profile.
right,
Okay.
right. But I was, and I'm always hesitant to discuss it with guys online too. I usually don't discuss it with them until we're talking on the phone. I don't send it to them in messages. Although one guy, I have pictures on my Facebook dating profile that my sister put up there for me, and I had no idea what pictures she put up there. But apparently, in one of them, I'm using my cane because one guy on Facebook dating, he did send me a message and he said, "Is that a cane I see in those pictures?" You know, and so I sent him a message back and I was like, "Yeah, I'm legally blind," you know, and I kind of pumped it up, made it sound like really cool, which it is. I'm very proud of being blind. And I mean, I use my cane, right? And I'm proud to be out in public using my cane, and I'm proud to have people see me and using my cane, being out in public. I just don't want them to see it on my Facebook dating profile, right, where all that other stupid shit is. I want them to meet me first, and then be like, oh, she happens to be blind, and just notice it, you know. So, um, so anyway, I was really comfortable talking to him because of that, right? Because he was so open about his disability, and that's one thing about Patrick, my boyfriend Patrick. He has Asperger's. Do you know what Asperger's is?
No, never heard.
Do you know what autism is?
Autism, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people know what autism is. Asperger's is a lot like autism, but I don't. You know, Patrick is my second close friend now who has Asperger's, and both of them, like, they're very intelligent, um, super intelligent, super sweet, super thoughtful, super doting individuals, right? And one thing that I really love about my boyfriend Anya is, first of all, he has like an amazing memory, right? Which is part of his mind that I was telling you about. Like, he's like a genius. He recites like literature to me, right? Like romantic literature. He sings like Beatles love ballads to me.
Oh, that's sweet.
And he knows every word, right? So he's not like singing some of the words, like singing the refrain and humming the rest of the words. This guy knows every word. And I got to tell you, I've never known a man who's so sweet and so romantic. And he dotes on me, you know. I've never had a man dote on me like him. And my family loves him, and my friends love him. Gino likes him, you know. So, yeah, he's a really great guy.
Well, that's sweet. That's good that it works out, and that he. I hope it works out, and I'm glad that he did not mind that you're blind and stuff.
Oh, and he does work out, which is another thing. I was telling my life coach the other day that the day I know the moment I fell in love with Patrick, and that was the day I was out hitting my punching bag, and he was in my bedroom here, and I didn't know what he was doing, but I was talking to him through the bedroom window, and I said, "Honey, what are you doing?" And he informed me that he was doing yoga. he was in my bedroom doing yoga while I was out on the veranda hitting my punching bag. And I thought, well, that's really neat. And then a little while later, I said, because I had music playing, and so I sing with the music, so I'd talk to him between songs, right? And so
Okay.
a little while later, I said, honey, what are you doing now? And he said, oh, now I'm lifting weights. And I told my life coach, I said, that's when I fell in love with him, I think, Lance, because when I found out that he cares as much about his health as I do mine, and Patrick and I work out all the time together. And it's been such a great, I mean, we've only known each other for a month now, but it's been a really great month hanging out and getting to know each other and working out together and talking about things that we care about and talking about our ideas and our thoughts. And oh, like I said, he's so well read, and he remembers everything he's ever read. You know what I mean?
Well, that's
So
nice.
he was so interesting
So,
to talk to, and I'm really taken with this man. So
so you say you work out together. So do you have like a personal gym at your home, or is just something?
oh, so I pretty much do. I have a treadmill. I have a punching bag. I've got Oh, and I also have a set of weights that I went and bought several months ago. And I haven't been using my weights, but Patrick's been using them, which is inspiring me. So I'm going to start using them very soon here. And
Mm-hmm.
I have like a yoga mat. I've got a swimming pool. I've got a really good setup here in my home. Yeah.
Well, I
Um,
have only treadmill, and it's really helpful. Like this whole month of January, we had such shitty weather. We had so much snow and ice, and we couldn't take
mm,
our daily walks. But at least I had that secondary option of walking on treadmill. I walked every day except for weekends, and it keeps you in shape. So I love
oh
walking.
yeah.
Mm.
Oh yeah. And the treadmill's a good option. I had a treadmill in my house in Missoula, right? And let me tell you, you know how many? Well, first I'll tell you about my treadmill. My treadmill here, I use it every day. I use it in the morning and in the evening. I've been doing it since I left my husband in 2016. And now I'm going to tell you, when I lived up in Missoula before I moved here, I had a treadmill in my house up there. And do you know how often I use that treadmill?
How often?
Never, because my ex-husband and my kids buried it in all their rubbish and crap. I couldn't get to it. And
Yeah.
that's why I love my house here, because I've got my own space. I've got my treadmills, and it's never cluttered up, so it's always accessible to me, so I can use it twice a day. I've got my
Mm.
punching bag right outside my bedroom door here on my veranda that I can use twice a day. I've got my weights that I'm going to work into my workout routine. I mean, my boyfriend's really inspiring me that way. I had some gift cards for I think it was Bob. I don't remember. It wasn't Bob Words. It was another sporting goods store here. I had some gift cards for it. So I went and bought these weights several months ago, and I had them set on a weight rack in my bedroom. And I had totally forgotten they were there because, out of sight, out of mind.
Mhm.
But when my boyfriend moved in a month ago, well, not a month ago now, but we started hanging out a month ago, right? And he's the one that made me realize the weights were there, So
Oh,
he's really inspiring me. So
oh, just to clarify, you guys met. You said you're celebrating. Like you met a month ago, or you just started being together a month ago.
we met a month ago today.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
he actually just moved in the other day because him and his roommate lost their place in Phoenix. So
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Mm. Well, so now you're using your treadmill. So is that accessible, or you see well enough to navigate those buttons?
Okay, no, I don't see well enough to navigate the buttons. And I've had several treadmills over the years because ever since I left my husband in 2016, I've been working out on a treadmill, and I wear them down. So every few years I have to get a new one. And so you can get treadmills that have buttons that are raised so you can feel them. But if you happen to get a treadmill that doesn't have raised buttons, you can also glue buttons on that you can feel. But what you just need like five basic buttons, like the start stop button, the ramp up
Yeah.
and ramp down, and the speed up and the speed down.
Yep.
And
Yep. That's exactly what I have. Mhm.
yep, yep. And And do you know about how to use the ramp? Like, do you know if you put the ramp up but slow the speed down, how it causes you to tuck your tummy muscles and like naturally without even thinking about it, and that's how you cut through like tummy fat quicker?
Ramp up. I mean, Robert, do you know? I don't.
Well, so so let me explain the whole concept to you. So you know how most people think if you go faster, you'll burn more calories.
Uh huh.
Well, actually, if you slow the speed down but put the ramp up, that's how you burn a lot of calories, and you cut through tummy fat a lot quicker that way.
Oh, so you mean like incline? What you call a ramp?
Right,
Incline,
right,
right?
right. Yeah, the incline thing. So when I get on my treadmill in the morning, like I speed it up a little bit for the first 5 or 10 minutes, and I
Mm-hmm.
get it so I'm sweating, and so I'm starting to breathe heavy, and then I slow it down, but I put the ramp up. And as you put the ramp up, ladies and gentlemen, please stay with us. We'll be right back after these messages. Hi, it's me, Rebecca S. Meadows, the author, with my new book, Living on Borrowed Time, The Ravings of an Angry Survivor of Traumatic Brain Injury and Guardianship Abuse. It's available on Kindle Digital Download, Amazon Print on Demand, and on Audible. Please go check it out. And now, back to the show.
All right. I don't know if Brandon is in yet. I know he's been trying to get in, but Brandon, are you able to hear us?
Okay, well, can
No,
I
he's
finish
not.
talking about
Yeah.
what I was talking?
Well, can you guys
Okay,
hear me now?
yeah,
Oh,
okay.
is
Can
that
I?
Brandon?
Yes, it's Brandon. Thanks for joining us, Brandon. But let me finish talking about what I was talking about before the commercial.
Oh,
Because
absolutely.
I actually did a video about this before, and a lot of people appreciated it. So I just wanted to share this information again because I think we have a new viewer set now because it was several years ago I did that video. So what I was saying to Anya before we went to commercial is about how to properly use a ramp on a treadmill. I never knew how to use a ramp before, but I've been working out on a treadmill a lot since I left my husband in 2016, and I've gotten tips from different people, and I don't remember who it was. Somebody told me about how to use the ramp. What you do is you need to slow the speed down and put the ramp up, and it causes you to it causes your like central nervous system to tuck your tummy muscles. And so as you're walking, you're actually just burning that much more fat in your tummy muscles, and your tummy muscles are getting tighter and tougher and stronger. And so that's what I do when I get on my treadmill in the morning. First of all, I speed up the speed a little bit for 5 or 10 minutes until I'm sweating quite a bit and breathing heavy. And then I slow the speed down, but I start putting the ramp up. And as I put the ramp up, it's really amazing. I can totally feel how my tummy muscles are tightening up and how my back's becoming straighter and how my whole posture is becoming straighter. And so that's how you use the ramp on a treadmill. You know what I mean?
I should try that. And how long do you go for?
So, like, it's totally up to you. Like, I used to do it for an hour on my treadmill, right? But the last year lately, I've been doing it for 30 minutes because my lifestyle's changed. I've got a lot of other stuff going on, so I don't have as much time to work out. But you can do it for an hour or a half hour or 20 minutes or 10 minutes. But if you're just starting, you should start slow at like 5 or 10 minutes. And because that's how, when I left my husband, I didn't have much energy, and in fact I think I was almost dead because I hurt really bad. But so I started slow when I started on my treadmill. I told myself, I said, just do 5 minutes. So I started with 5 minutes, and then after 5 minutes, I was still feeling pretty good. So I put 5 more minutes on, and I did 10 minutes. And then I upped it to 15, and eventually I was doing an hour, and then I said, wow, I guess I better stop adding to it.
No, I'm not starting. Like I've been doing this for a long, long time.
Yeah.
I just
Right.
never did it the way you described it, like do incline all the way up and go slow. I never did that.
Well, I don't incline all the way up. The incline goes pretty freaking high, but you even put it up just a little bit, and you're gonna feel it in your tummy and your low back. Like it'll be strengthening your low back. It'll be tightening your tummy muscles, and you'll actually feel it throughout. Like I feel it in my neck and my shoulders and my hips and everything,
Yeah.
I, you know what I mean? And I mean, and honestly, because I've broken my tailbone and I've had severe neck and back injuries from 4 car accidents that I've been in, I really feel like while I'm doing this on the treadmill, I feel like I'm retraining my neurological system or my central nervous system to start functioning properly again. Especially after the paralysis I suffered in 1989. Like that really messed up my neurological system. And this technique on the treadmill is probably the thing I found that helps me reconnect more with my feet, than anything else. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense.
I know you haven't had a traumatic brain injury like I have, but one of the things with my TBI is like I cannot dance. I cannot learn to dance because I cannot connect with my feet. Um, and but this is one thing that I found that helps me do it is
Mhm.
just getting on the treadmill, and when I get the ramp up like that and I've got the speed slowed down, it's like all my muscles are taut and my it's like I don't like my joints are all locked, and well, maybe not locked, but it's just like I just really feel like my neurological system is more connected, when I'm working out on the treadmill.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I'm out walking around, oh my gosh, it just feels like I don't have full control over all my joints sometimes. You might not know what I mean, but
Mhm.
I just feel better working out every day. And with me having the injuries I have, with it helping me as much as it does, I just really believe for people who haven't had such injuries, it will really help them. Like daily exercise is really good.
Yeah. Yeah, staying active is important, that's for sure.
Yeah. And
Yeah, I mean, I fully agree, ladies. I fully agree. In fact, one of my goals this year that I've started working on as well is just moving more, like whatever that means, walking, jogging, running, swimming, climbing, rowing, whatever that means. Yeah, I'm in full agreement.
oh, that's
Yeah.
yeah.
I want to do yoga somehow. I mean, I had this goal for last year, which I never accomplished. I made the first step. I even looked up some numbers and called yoga studios around the town, but most of them offer like group classes, which are not going to work for me. For somebody who knows absolutely nothing about yoga, I mean, in practice, in
Well,
theory, I do. So I need
Brandon,
individual classes, but those are expensive, like $60 for one class. I mean, I don't know, it's a little bit too high to me.
so Brandon, have you been to Ability 360?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, so my boyfriend and I have been talking about going there and getting a membership. But like Anya pointed out, I do have a pretty good workout here, and so we kind of discussed it and decided that we'll wait for a little bit to go to Ability 360. But I need to call them because I think they have like a rock climbing wall and some other stuff that I don't have
Is
here.
it like a fitness center you're speaking of, or?
Yeah. So it's here in Phoenix. It's called Ability 360, and it's a gym that is designed specifically for disabled people. And so all their equipment is handicap accessible, and they have people working there to help you on the equipment and stuff like that. And they've got like it's full facilities. Like if you've ever been to like a YMCA, like
YMCA.
the Ability 360 seems to be outfitted a lot like your typical YMCA, except it's specifically designed for disabled people. Like a lot of like all of their signage is not only in print for sighted people, but it's also in braille for blind people. And I don't know, it's just hard to explain it. It's a really great place because as a blind person, well, for one thing, as a blind person, it's hard to exercise. So obesity is a big problem in the blind community. And it's hard to, well, as everybody knows, purchasing exercise equipment for your own home. It's expensive. It's big and bulky. Most people don't have the room. And if you go to Ability 360, you can get access to like a full universal gym, all kinds of free weights. I think they probably also have like stretchy bands there. They've got like a running track. I think they've got a swimming pool. They probably have a basketball court. I just don't know what all they have there because it's been a long time since I've been to Ability 360. But my boyfriend and I have been talking about going at some point.
Well, that would be nice. I mean, I wish we had something like this here. Even though what I have at home is enough, I do have some weights, and I have bicycle. Yes, I have bicycle in my garage that got used only once in 3 years. Yes, people, just once. But it's there. It's waiting. It's patiently waiting when I decide to actually use it. But I do use treadmill. So, and we don't have. I mean, we do have Planet Fitness. We do have some other things, but I don't think they are accessible. The machines, I don't think so.
Well, what I would mention to you, Anya, is regarding yoga. There was a company, and I cannot now remember their name, but you can find them. Just Google. Google is your friend, right? But the point is, they make accessible yoga mats because, and I think they also have like companion trainings because it's not helpful for us blind people when somebody says, "Okay, place your hand at position 3 on the mat." It's like, okay, where is position 3? Place your hand now on position 5 or your foot on position 7. Okay, where's that? We don't know. We can't look at the mat and see. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Somebody took and made an accessible yoga mat, and I think there is like companion, like instruction too.
Well, see, I would need to go for at least 2-3 sessions just to get a gist of. Okay, well, you just said, okay, put your position 2, 3, whatever. I have no idea what those positions even are. So, I mean,
but you would on this mat though, because on the mat, I think they're tactile or something. I don't know. I don't really do yoga, so I don't want to speak too, extensively on it. But I think the mat though, it's tactile somehow, so that we do at least know where the positions are.
Yeah, I mean, I would try to go with an instructor, maybe a couple of sessions, and then definitely look into it. I mean, accessible mat would be something I could do on my own in the comfort of my home, without having to pay.
And I'm saying kind of like what you're saying too. I think that a lot of, I mean, if you just pick a yoga studio, they're not going to have any idea about how to teach blind people yoga.
Well, some of them are open-minded; they're willing to try. I mean, when I was in college, I had some personal trainers. Thankfully my school was nice enough, and they knew that their equipment was not that great for the blind person. So they would give me a personal trainer, which would be a student. They would get paid by the university. This program was for everyone who just starts going to the gym, but I had that trainer on a permanent basis, like ongoing basis, because I was blind. And those people, the students, they didn't know how to teach a blind person to do certain things, but they learned along with me.
Oh, absolutely, and if you can arrange that, oh, absolutely. But there again, just. I just don't want the expectation of blind people. It's just one of those things where we're going to have to advocate for ourselves. It's same old, right? But like you say, we can't just walk into a Planet Fitness or whatever, 24-hour fitness or whatever. We do need a little bit of accommodation. Not a lot. I mean, because to your point, I mean, there comes a point when you just have to learn yoga, right? Like there's a way to do a rep and there's a way not to do a rep, and you have to learn that. But just everything from like if you're working on a treadmill, for example, a lot of them have touch screens. That ain't gonna work for us. That doesn't. So.
And you're not gonna ask the companions, like people who are working out. You're not gonna stop them like, hey, can you come and help me? Like, that's just not fair. And they may not even hear you.
Actually, no, that is a strategy, though. I mean, I don't think you should be too afraid to do that. I mean, depending on where you go and whatnot, because, I mean, again, we need... So, because, to your point, like, we need accommodation, but to your point, it's like, man, it can get expensive to hire a personal trainer, but that is also another option.
Right, but you don't want to pester people. Plus, a lot of them work out with their headphones in. Like,
Absolutely, and
so.
I'm fully with you, but it just depends on
Well,
how whether or
you know
not
what
you
I
can
used to
find
do?
people that'll help you.
You know what I've done over the years, guys?
Uh huh.
Okay, well, I learned. I started working out when I was in the community bridges program. When I was there, like the LSTs, the life skills trainers, would help us on the weight, or help me on the weight machines and stuff since I was blind, right? And
Hmm.
then when I got out of the bridges program, I still like to work out, but I didn't work out for a few years till I met this girl that became my best friend, and we started working out all the time together. So I think that was the thing that worked best for me was when my best friend and I were going and working out together. Now I don't have a best girlfriend right now that's really available because my best girlfriend Nicole, she ruined her brain last spring. But that's why my boyfriend and I are going to start working out. So really, if you have someone you like hanging out with anyway, why not say, "Hey, do you want to go work out with me?" You know?
Yeah, yeah, and I do like that idea a lot, right? Because
Yeah,
then I mean, you're both working out,
yeah.
and your friends, they know you well, so there's not that got to do all that ice breaking and stuff.
Right. And if you're like you can hang out like what I do with my friends is I hang out and we chat while we're working out and we listen to music while we're working out. And we do it right here at my house, right? But like when I lived in Missoula, my girlfriend and I used to go to the YMCA up there. We did that at the YMCA. Like we just visited while we worked out and they had music playing. Like as long as there's music playing and someone you like to visit with, like I can work out for a long freaking time, kind of takes your mind off of what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would do swimming too. I really like swimming, but there are also
Oh,
challenges with that. Leaving your cane somewhere and then finding,
yeah.
uh, when you get getting out of the water, finding your spot, your towel, your shoes.
Mhm.
It, yeah, there are some challenges with that
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. I have a wading pool here at my house, so I don't have to worry about that.
Is that
About
indoor pool
losing.
or outdoor?
It's outdoor. It's in my backyard and it's underground, but it's a wading pool. Like you can't dive into it off a diving board because it's only about 6 feet deep. And
Oh, okay.
but it's deep enough. Ladies and gentlemen, please stay with us. We'll be right back after these messages.
Why don't they have blind people sections at sporting events? Why do I gotta pay the same price to not see shit? Okay? The Jumbotron ain't even built for me.
I am the business manager here at the Visually Impaired School of Arizona.
I see you brought the film crew. Make sure you get my good side.
All right, settle down and get focused on your tasks.
I teach the art of cuisine, child.
You wanna know what the problem, the biggest problem in the blind community? It's you sighted people.
Just take a look over here.
Yeah, I don't know where that is, man.
Okay, you all need to turn off those cameras and just leave the building.
Wait, Joe, hold on.
Oh,
On your right.
you're on the right.
How would you know that the men you're dating are black?
No, this is not card member services. This is the Visually Impaired School of Arizona.
Gigi, where are his pants?
I don't know.
Billy doesn't f***ing work here. He basically came with the building.
I can be the very first mayor of Blind Sylvania.
Make blind America great again.
There goes my pie.
This happens every day.
No, of course
Sometimes.
not.
Oh my gosh, that was so much fun when we produced that last year. I can't wait till spring when we go into our next production.
Oh, good times, good.
Good. Well, Becca, you said you wanted to talk about Valentine's Day. What did you want to talk about?
Well, just about, do you guys know the history of Valentine's Day?
I think there are alternate histories, right? There's like, kind of like there's, the original like Brothers Grimm versions of the tales, and then there's the Disney tales. They're a little bit different. So, what history do you know of Valentine?
About who Saint Valentine was.
Yeah, what? Well, tell us about it. What do you know about it?
Well, not a lot. I honestly say Valentine's Day is a couple weeks away, and I'll do more research before it gets closer so we can talk about it on the show. When I was growing up, I heard some legends about Valentine's Day, so I'm going to do some research and see if I can learn more about Valentine's Day because I've always been fascinated by history, and if there is some history behind Valentine's Day, I want to learn it.
Well, I believe Valentine actually was elevated to the status of patron saint, right? Patron Saint Valentine, I think.
It had something
By
to do with him marrying a couple when he was not supposed to marry them, like bless them or something. I heard the story a million times, but it just kind of came into one ear, came out of the other. It didn't stick with me.
Okay.
Well,
go
now
ahead.
is that because you didn't like Valentine's Day, Anya, or what? Or,
No,
I mean, are you
I
thumbs up or
loved
thumbs down to
Valentine's.
Valentine's Day?
I loved Valentine's Day. I mean, like it's been years. In my school, it was always celebrated. We even had like school celebration and performances.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was so sweet. We would exchange notes, like those little Valentines.
No, it's one of those days, though. It's one of those people either love it or they hate it. They're like, I don't,
That's the commercialism of Valentine's Day, but as far as the history of Valentine's Day, like I remember one time when I was a teenager hearing like a reenactment of Saint Valentine's life,
No,
and
I didn't think that's where you were going to go with it.
it was something about I think what he did was I think he was performing marriages when it was against the law. I think that's what Saint Valentine did.
That rings the bell. That's what I remember.
Yeah, I think wherever he was at, I think it was against the law, and so I think he was performing marriages against the state, and I think they put him to death for it, or at least they were hunting him. And you know how back then so many of those people usually got found and put to death. So I think he probably got found and put to death. But honestly, Valentine's Day is not here yet, and I will do more research. Well, I haven't done any research. This is just based on something I remember watching when I was a teenager. But
no, but you're right. I'm married, so I believe there is definitely some truth in the saying "happy wife, happy life." So yes, it is the holiday that's coming up, and I'm actually excited about it. I've always been excited about Valentine's Day, both when I was single, people, and now that I'm married. I've always, it's just, it's fine, it's fun, it's good, it's nice. I like it, I dig it, I'm on board. Let's go. Valentine's Day is coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'm excited. My boyfriend, I just got a new car, so we can actually go out of town for Valentine's Day in a couple of weeks.
Okay. Well, boyfriends, fiancés, husbands, you better be making a plan. Okay.
A lot of people have problem with it because they say it's like a pagan holiday, it's blah, blah, blah. Well, okay, maybe so. Like, maybe a lot of traditions around it, all this lovey-dovey thing was made up. Okay, fine. But I don't see anything wrong with it. I mean, we're celebrating something light, something bright, something good. I don't see why it should not be celebrated.
Mm-hmm.
Like
hey,
romance.
I always, as a single guy, I always enjoyed the chase. I always enjoyed the hunt. I mean, you got to ask serious, deep, big, heavy questions later in the relationship. But the infatuation stage was always really fun, really enjoyable for me. So, hey, I mean, I say, well, don't get too bogged down in the woods and the weeds and everything on Valentine's Day. I mean, those heavy questions are kind of more like second, third, fourth, fifth date. Yeah, if you are so lucky to make it that far, which I typically was. I'm fortunate to be able to say. But yeah, I mean, what's wrong with celebrating love and happiness and smiles and,
Yeah, I totally agree. And marketing knows about that too. So I mean, they started selling Valentine's junk already right after Christmas. I mean, it's already there, like Valentine's candies, like little hearts and different.
It just begins with candy with me. Oh, that's just the foundation. Oh, there's so much more. So much more. You better make a plan, guys. You better make a plan. Come on, chivalry. Chivalry isn't dead, ladies. It's not. Now I admit it's probably a lot harder to find these days. I mean, too many soy boys. Too many
Yes.
soy boys.
What is your preference on Valentine's Day? What do you prefer to get from your hubby?
Well, to get in terms of gifts or in terms of what we do.
Well, like, do you prefer candy, roses?
There you go. There you go. See, Becca knows. See, Becca. Okay.
Movie, or do you just prefer a romantic walk, or all of the above?
Some yummy food and some champagne. In my culture, champagne is usually associated with some celebration. So we do champagne for New Year's and Valentine's Day. We all like here in my house. We do champagne. Yeah, and we try to do some little either getaway. Like one year we went to LA. But it was pre-COVID actually. So we went there, and if we're staying around around here, then we just buy some yummy food and have little drinks, and we don't do anything big. Don't do big gift exchange. Last year I told my husband not to get anything for me because I didn't get anything for him. Let's just do like that. but he still got me perfume. I was like, oh sweetheart, now you have to do that.
Oh, you guys, come on! You got to do something.
Well, like I said, we do some drinking and eating,
Okay. I mean, I'm just saying, you guys are a couple. I'm married. Oh, but I love to wait to make my lady happy. I do.
No, we do go. We do have getaways. Like we don't go far away, like LA or something, but we do go to like nearby town or city, and then we rent a hotel room. We go to dinner. Sometimes we go with somebody, like if some friend lives in that town, we can invite them. And I usually go for a massage. My friend a massage therapist, so I do that. In fact, that's what I'm planning for this year, to go. Actually, on Saturday, not on Friday, because Friday all restaurants are going to be packed. It's going to be super crowded, and I don't want to deal with that. So I'll just go the following day. What's the difference?
I don't even know. Does it fall on a Friday? I haven't even looked yet.
Yeah, it sure does. I already started my planning, dear.
Awesome, though. That actually, well, that's exciting for me. And no, I agree with you, Anya. It's not absolutely. It's not about who can spend the most money. No, I think far too many holidays have, as Becca pointed out earlier, become about commercialism and corporatism. And no, I'm not in favor of that necessarily, but I just, at the federal level, there are now only two genders. So I think we can kind of like wink, wink, nod at all the people melting down right now,
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's get back to traditional Valentine's Day. Finally. Hallelujah.
Imagine Valentine's Day now. Yeah, it's going to be really cool.
I mean, it's just nice to be able to now say like, "Hey, girl, what's up? How you doing?" And not get these snooty. I'm not a girl. I'm a sheep. I'm a rabbit today. Oh, I thought you were a sheep yesterday. Oh, but that's yesterday. There's 97 genders. Yeah, shut up. Shut up. Shut the front door.
Well, I have to say, Valentine's Day has been celebrated even during this lunacy, too. I mean, people still found the way to celebrate it. Yeah, I see what you're saying, Brandon, completely. But I'm saying I don't feel like it took away from the celebration.
You don't?
I don't know. I mean, maybe because I don't hang out with weirdos, so
I don't either. But there's been such a war on traditionally normative heterosexual roles lately, and it's so nice to be getting back to normal. Like,
yeah.
I don't know if it's gonna go back to normal that fast. It doesn't happen in the snap of the fingers,
It's going pretty fast, girl. It's going pretty fast.
You have to change people's minds. You can't just change it legislatively. Yes, it starts there. It's a good start. It's a very good start. But we actually need to work on people's minds and then tell them what is, hey, like go back to normal.
And if they don't want to change their mind, I say buy an island. Pool your funds and buy an island. If you want to keep up your disgusting, sick DEI crap, your stupid, idiotic, woke agenda junk, pool your funds and buy an island and get out of here, please.
Yeah. So You guys, earlier I mentioned the NFB. You know, this is January, and every January, the NFB does their Washington Summit, or the Washington
Seminar.
Seminar.
Yeah.
Have you guys heard anything about the Washington Seminar? What's going on with it?
Yeah, it's happening next Monday, like starting next Monday.
Oh, next Monday.
So if you Becca are subscribed to their mailing list, you should be getting some information because they do air a big gathering. So you could
Yeah, the
zoom
Great
in.
Gathering.
Yeah, they're gonna do it next Monday.
Yeah.
So and then
Rebecca,
they're gonna.
here's your reminder. Do my treadmill.
Alexa, stop. Sorry, Anya.
No, you're good. Yeah. So I mean, if you are on the list, you should be getting some information about that. I usually try to tune in because in my time zone it's 4 o'clock, and for them it's 5. So I tune in and I listen to what they do there in Washington.
Isn't it gonna be interesting though? All the way that the top brass of the National Federation of the Blind have been behaving and speaking and acting over the past few years. Boy, they're gonna have to do a lot of reacclimating and reorienting. Thank goodness.
Well, I didn't even look at their priorities this year. Like, I mean, I haven't been going to seminars for a few years because of my work, but yeah, I haven't looked yet. Usually I look.
No, I haven't either. You know, I've distanced myself considerably from the Federation because I don't want to be part of, you know, that radical left leaning agenda. I don't want anything to do with that. So
yeah.
If we're going to talk about how to help and empower blind people, I don't care about your pronouns. I don't care about what you do in your bedroom. Okay, that's something we can talk about either personally, one-on-one, or not at all. Okay, this should not be a platform thing. Nah, I want nothing to do with it.
Yeah, and that is one thing that the NFB does tend to embrace the leftist lunacy.
Right. Right.
Yeah, not everybody though. There are plenty of smart people out there, like plenty of level-headed people. Not all. Yeah, I agree with you guys. Like it's definitely left-leaning. We know that.
But the upper crust people, the administrators in the Federation, there's a lot of yahoos, crazy people in there. You know.
Yeah, it's hard not to be, and I'm not defending them by no means, but they're so close to Washington, and we know how Washington is. It's hard to be.
We know how Washington was. It's getting a lot better now.
It's getting better. Trump's going to drain the swamp.
Yeah, he's draining rapidly.
Didn't you ladies see he's already removed a bunch of security clearances for a bunch of those woke weirdos?
Yeah, Fauci lost his clearance. Yeah, thank goodness.
Yeah.
And General Miley and some other people.
And like Trump said, you guys have plenty of money. Plenty of money. You made plenty of money. You can hire your own security.
He's right. I mean, why should we be paying for their security? Nobody was paying for our security when we had open borders, and God knows who was coming in. Nobody cared about our security.
No, and in fact, there were some of the really, really radical ones that wanted to take away cap guns, never mind actual arms,
Yeah,
but they still have their full security detail.
I didn't even know. That's something I came to learn because I thought only like former presidents and maybe some couple of super high officials have that, but freaking bureaucrat like Fauci or I don't know some other ones that you would never think they have security detail for life. It's just crazy.
And President Trump put an end officially to the DEI hiring practices. I'm telling you, things are getting better.
Brennan, you were not here yet. In the beginning, I was talking about this, and I was saying that. Do you see what's going on? Like in disability community, they're all freaking out, saying that accessibility is going to go away. Like I don't know how they tied it together. Like what fantasy world they live in, and why they're saying with DEI accessibility for the blind people and other disabilities will go away. It's just nonsense.
No, it sounds like when you hear the terms, I should say, diversity, equity, and inclusion, it sounds like it would be more than it ever was. Because it was never about people with disabilities. It was about people of color. It was about people of specific sexual orientation. No, it didn't. It never actually embraced diversity, equity, and it was never very inclusive. Unless you said the right words. I mean, God forbid you actually think independently and think critically and use rational reasoning. And oh no, you can't do that. No, you can't do. I mean,
No, but people run with these ideas and they're freaking out on social media like the world is ending tomorrow. Trump is going to behead poor disabled people. I mean, it's just
right,
yeah.
and there's people crying. I'm sorry that President Trump is deporting you all. They're criminals and they're illegal aliens. I'm not sorry.
Yeah, that's the power of propaganda and misinformation. I mean, these people don't even understand who is being deported. Career criminals, and I don't know why they feel sympathetic. What does it say about them if they feel so sympathetic for that?
So I think I've really kind of sort of changed the dynamic of the show, guys, and I partially apologize. I don't mean to seem needlessly abrasive or anything, but really, you gotta just pardon me for taking a little bit of another victory lap here, okay? Because I'm so glad that things, we now live in a meritocracy. I'm so glad, like that's what I'm used to, guys. In other words, as a blind guy, DEI never benefited me. Wokeism never benefited me. In fact, I was literally fired for no reason as a blind guy. And it wasn't even, I never even got a reason. It wasn't like I was racist, I was sexist, I was misogynistic, I was belligerent, I was hateful. I was none of those things. I didn't even get a reason. I was just fired for no reason. So, where was my DEI privilege and path to just, suck at my job and do a horrible job, but just be able to stay there? I never got that. So DEI and wokeism has never, ever benefited me. I see zero benefit in it.
Yeah, it's not intended. It never intended to benefit you.
Obviously. But it sounds like, oh, I need some equity. I need to be included. Which, I mean, I do think that blind people should be included, but that's what I'm saying. It was never about that, though. It was I mean, you know what I mean? Like it's like doublespeak. It sounds good, but the way they implement it has nothing to do with.
Yeah, if you look at statistics, if you look at accomplishments, and they keep citing some weird studies that I don't even know exist. Diversity brings companies, strength or blah blah blah. Like that's not even true. No company has improved it by any measure that they can show. Nothing measurable they can point out and say, hey, this is what has changed since we started hiring people based on their gender or skin color or something. And that made us better. There's no such metric.
No, I don't think so. I don't think
it's
so.
just a bunch of virtue signaling BS. That's all it is.
Yeah. But that's going away, though. Thank goodness that's going away. And, but again, to be fair, I understand that, I tried to communicate this last time, too. I understand what a shock this must be to some people. I really do. But the thing is, they didn't have a lot of sympathy for me. They wanted to mask me up and lock me down and take away my job, but they didn't have a lot of sympathy for me. So, I figured it out. I made it through. I survived, unvaxxed, might I say, happily. So it's like, man up, woman up, stop crying. If you really hate this country so much, then leave or something. I mean, I had to figure it out.
Amen. If you hate this country, leave. They're all free to do so. I like that.
No, like somebody said,
I mean,
America, leave it or love it.
Nobody had sympathy for me. I wasn't offered any kind of, nothing. It just, Joe Biden was who he claimed he was. He was put into that position for 4 years, and we all know what happened. And people like myself, we were isolated, we were segregated. People were hostile to us. People bullied us and were belligerent to us and called us all kinds of names. Not a lot of love, radical lefties, not a lot of love for people like me. So, sorry, not a lot of love for you either. Treat others as you would have them treat you, right? Right? How does it feel, guys?
Yeah. Yeah, well, let's keep watching what's gonna happen. It's gonna be exciting. It's gonna be exciting.
Yeah. Hopefully, maybe all those people that are, DEI evangelists can actually go get good at something, and then we'll rehire them. If you're the best qualified, you'll be hired. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, sounds good. Well.
Yeah. Do either of you have anything else to add before we end the show?
Yeah, I think I pretty much covered what I had for tonight.
Yeah, no, I wish you well, Beck. I guess, but let me just ask super quick though. I guess what are you? I guess you're in a dating scenario right now.
I guess. I honestly, I've been trying to delete my Facebook dating on my Facebook profile for probably 2 years.
Oh,
But
I don't know. I just got the impression that you're seeing somebody now. Are you not? Are you still?
I
You
am,
are. Oh.
but the only reason I'm seeing this guy is because he's a dreamboat. He's everything I've ever wanted in a man, but I've given up on ever finding.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, he's amazing.
Well, that's good. That's good.
I
Okay, so that's awesome. And I
don't
hope
think
that.
you were here when I was telling Anya that he's like, so he has he has Asperger's. So
Okay.
I mean, he's one of those people who's like borderline genius, and
Okay.
he remembers almost everything he's ever read and stuff. So he like recites literature to me. He sings to me. He sings Beatles love ballads to me.
Hey, there
He
you
works
go.
out. He works out with me. In fact, that was the day that I realized I was falling in love with him. Was the day that I was out hitting my punching bag, and I said to him through the bedroom window, I said, "Honey, what are you doing?" And he was in my bedroom doing yoga. And then a little while later, when I asked him again, he was lifting weights because I have a bunch of free weights here in my bedroom, And I thought, oh my God, this guy cares as much about his health as I do mine. I better snatch him up, because we love hanging out together. And when it's a man that loves working out as much as you do, oh my gosh.
Well,
Yeah.
that is really, really good. I just think that's awesome, and yeah, I've already lost a lot of weight, but I'm going to still continue trying to be even more fit. So,
So let me tell you something though. One thing that I thought was really great was that he cooks, right?
Okay.
My sister was telling me this morning, she said, Patrick needs to stop cooking because he cooks everything on high and he's burning all our pans.
Oh.
So I need to talk to him and be like, honey, if you're going to continue to cook, you need to blah, blah, blah,
Yeah. But overall, though, that's a minor critique, though.
Yeah, and his heart's in the right place. He is like, I'm telling you, Brandon, this man is so doting. Like, and he does it so naturally. Like, I mean, I've had guys who say, oh, I want to make you a princess. I want to treat you like a queen, right? I want to make you the center of my world. I want to dote on you.
Uh-huh.
And those guys, they always like 5 seconds later, they're like losing interest in you, right? But
I got you.
This guy never made any boasts like that. He just did it,
real love is not easy to find. It's really not. So but I'm very, very happy to hear that. And I guess now that you're in a relationship, it looks like we're all in relationships. So I just think we all should, try to cultivate them to the best of our ability.
Oh yeah, for sure. And maybe in our next episode we could talk about blind relationships. You know what I mean?
I could tell some funny stories about that.
I think we
true
all
stories.
could. Yeah, I think we all could, and we're probably running out of time for tonight. But maybe
Yeah.
We have, yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you can email me. I'm your host, Rebecca Meadows. You can email me directly at BeccaMeadows76@gmail.com. You can also go check out Don'tLookNowTVOfficial.com so you can see the trailer for our current project. And you can also subscribe to us here so you can follow us. Do you guys have anything else you want to add before we close the show?
Nah,
no,
nah,
thanks,
it's
everyone.
been good.
Okay,
Yeah.
thanks for staying with us, ladies and gentlemen. Please join us again next week. Peace out, y'all. That's a wrap.
Thank you for watching Becca's World. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel.